My fiancée accidentally texted her parents about wanting one last hookup before our wedding. It was meant for her friends. We'd been together nearly 4 years. Met during our final semester at the University of Michigan, moved to Chicago after graduation, and gradually built a life that felt solid. Not perfect, but steady. Madison had taken a marketing job with a retail brand, and I was freelancing as a graphic designer. We shared a small apartment in Lakeview, cramped for 2 people and a dog, but it was ours. We had the kind of routine you get used to. Sunday morning coffee, weeknight takeout, dog walks along the lake. There were ups and downs, of course, but I thought we were good. Secure, rooted in something real. The wedding had been in the works for about a year. Her parents, very buttoned-up Midwestern folks, were covering most of it. They were always polite, but I could never shake the feeling they didn't quite approve of me. Nothing explicit was ever said, but the distance was there. I'd mention it to Madison, and she'd just wave it off or tell me I was imagining things. So I let it go. That was the pattern. It was a Tuesday afternoon when it all cracked open. I was half working at my desk, half scrolling Reddit, when my phone buzzed with a call from Madison's mom, Carol. That immediately struck me as odd. Carol never called me directly. Anything wedding-related usually went through Madison. So, thinking maybe something had happened, I answered quickly. "Hey, Carol, everything okay?" I asked. There was this long pause, too long. Then a sharp inhale, and finally, her voice. "Michael, have you spoken to Madison today?" I sat up straight, heart thumping. "No, not yet." "Why?" Another sigh, heavier this time. "I think you need to see the message she just sent. She meant it for her friends. It went to the family group chat instead. You should check your messages, then maybe we can talk." And then she hung up. Confused, I opened my phone and found the family group chat. Madison wasn't in it, just me, her parents, her brother, and sister. She must have gotten the groups mixed up somehow. My heart sank as I read the message, still fresh from 5 minutes ago. "Lol, can't believe this wedding is still happening. 2 more weeks and I'm out. This bachelorette trip is going to be wild. I deserve one last ride before I say I do to boring old Mike." My stomach dropped. I stared at it, rereading it again and again as the words began to sear themselves into my brain. What the hell did "one last ride" mean? I knew exactly what it sounded like, but I didn't want to believe it. I told myself maybe it was a dumb joke, a clumsy phrase. Maybe I was missing context. Then, a new message popped up. Madison again. "OMG, delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Not for you guys. OMG, I'm so sorry." That was it. No clarification. Just panic. No attempt to soften the blow. And then, as if things weren't already unraveling fast enough, my phone rang again. This time it was her dad. I didn't answer. My hands were shaking. My chest felt like someone had slammed into it with full force. The air in the room felt thinner, harder to breathe. I just sat there, holding my phone, barely able to process what I'd just read. The woman I was about to marry, who I'd trusted, committed to, planned a future with, was joking, or maybe not even joking, about cheating on me. About how boring I was. It felt like the rug had been ripped out from under my entire life. Then came another message, this time directly from Madison. "Babe, please don't freak out. It was just a dumb joke between me and the girls. I didn't mean it like that. I'll explain everything tonight. Just please don't make this a big thing." That message felt even worse than the first. I didn't reply. I couldn't. Instead, I packed a bag. I wasn't sure where I was going, just that I wasn't staying in that apartment. I checked into a Holiday Inn a few blocks away and turned my phone on silent. I didn't want to speak to anyone, not Madison, not her parents, not even my best friend, Chris. I laid on that stiff hotel bed and stared at the ceiling, completely numb. That night was a haze. I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing her words on repeat. "I deserve one last ride before I say I do to boring old Mike." It wasn't a joke, not really. It was how she truly felt. I wasn't her partner, I was the safe option. The guy you marry when you're done being wild. Around midnight, I finally turned my phone back on. 12 missed calls, multiple voicemails, dozens of texts from Madison. Her family had messaged too. One from her younger sister, Kate, stood out. "Hey Mike, whatever Madison sent, you didn't deserve that. You've always been too good to her. Just take care of yourself right now." That hit me. It was strangely comforting, like someone else finally saw what I was beginning to realize. The next morning, I drove out to the lakefront and watched the sun rise over Lake Michigan. My phone buzzed again. It was Madison. This time, I answered. Mike, she blurted out, her voice frantic. Please, I've been losing my mind. Where are you? Why aren't you home? I cut her off. I'm not coming home. Not until we talk. Really talk. No deflecting. No, it was just a joke, crap. I want the truth. There was silence on the other end. Then a soft, trembling, okay, can we meet somewhere, please? We met at a coffee shop in Lincoln Park. She looked wrecked, makeup smeared, eyes puffy, hair messily pulled back. She'd clearly been crying. I didn't order anything. I just sat down across from her, arms crossed. Start talking, I said. She took a deep breath. It was stupid, just something I said because the girls were hyping up the bachelorette weekend. You know how they are. Strippers, hookups, they were joking around. I cut in. Were you going to cheat on me? Her eyes widened. No. God, no. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't planning anything. It was just pressure. Like this feeling that I'm about to get married and it's the last chance to be wild. I stared at her. So, you were thinking about it. She looked down. I don't know what I was thinking. I was drunk when I sent that. I kept my voice low. You called me boring. Her head snapped up. Mike, no. I didn't mean it like that. You're not boring. You're stable. You're kind. You're safe. Exactly, I said. I'm the safe guy. She didn't deny it. And in that silence, I realized just how clearly she'd shown me the truth. You know what's messed up? I continued. I was nervous about this wedding too. Not because I didn't want to marry you, but because I wasn't sure you really wanted to marry me. Asterisk. Her eyes welled up again. I do want to marry you. No, I said. You want the wedding, the white dress, the honeymoon in Bali, but I don't think you ever wanted me. Asterisk. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. I told her parents had called me. I told her how devastated they were. And you had the nerve to tell me not to make it a big deal, I said. You humiliated me, Maddie. In front of your whole family. You made me a joke. She started crying again, but I didn't care. I was done being the guy who always forgave. I'm calling it off, I said. The wedding, us. She gasped, as if she couldn't believe it. You're serious? I stood, dead serious. I left her sitting there, crying into her coffee. The ring still in my pocket, untouched. That night, I went back to the apartment to pack the last of my things. Madison was gone. Her sister, Kate, had picked her up earlier after I said I needed the space. I didn't take much, just what I came with. A few keepsakes, and Cooper, our dog. Then the phone rang. It was her dad. I paused, thumb hovering over the decline button, but picked up. Mike, Richard said. His voice was calm but heavy. Do you have a few minutes? I said yes, bracing for some speech about forgiveness or second chances. But that wasn't what I got. I just want to say I'm sorry, he began. That threw me. For what? I asked. For how this all happened. For not speaking up sooner. Carol and I, we had doubts. We should have trusted them. We always saw you as the responsible one. The adult. I sat down, trying to process that. What are you saying? I asked. He sighed. Madison's impulsive. Always has been. We thought she grew out of it. But when we saw that message, we knew. This wedding wasn't about building a life with someone. It was about appearances. He paused, then added, we canceled everything. The venue. The catering. We told her the wedding isn't happening. Not just because of the text, but because she needs to grow up. And if she ever wants our support again, she needs to learn to take responsibility. Then Carol got on the line. Her voice was softer, but no less serious. Michael, you didn't deserve this. You were good to her. We saw that, and for what it's worth, we're grateful you had the strength to walk away. Later that evening, Kate showed up. She handed me a small box. Found this in her drawer, she said. Inside were Polaroids from the bachelorette weekend, planned in advance. One showed her in lingerie with "Last Night of Freedom" written on the mirror in lipstick. Another had a dare list. Kiss a stranger, lap dance on the beach, get a fake name and number. It was reckless, juvenile, and it confirmed everything I already knew in my gut. Kate looked at me. She's not ready for someone like you. I nodded. I know. That night, I stayed at Chris's place. We drank beer, played video games, and for the first time in days, I laughed. It felt foreign, but it also felt like freedom. 2 weeks later, I flew to Bali. Alone. What should have been our honeymoon turned into a reset. Time to breathe, to reflect, to forgive, not just Madison, but myself. Because sometimes, people show you exactly who they are. And when they do, believe them. I didn't get the wedding. But I got my peace. And honestly, that's worth a hell of a lot more. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. There's plenty more to come.